Hi everyone, my name is Abel Grey Cantoma from Greatest Design Contact. This is my WhatsApp contact. You can reach me on this number or call me on any of these numbers, okay? Today I'm going to be showing you a very great software which is called the Midas nGen. Very powerful software. So I'll be taking you through a series on Midas nGen. This is a very great software that I will always recommend at any day and any time. Alright, as you can see, this is basically the interface of Midas nGen. So I want us to just do something very simple, a very simple model that we can go through together right away. As you can see, this is the interface of this software. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of talks, but as you can see, this is the structure, this is define, this is member, this is body, this is load, boundary, analysis, design. So everything is arranged accordingly based on the stages of your design. First of all, you are supposed to model, then you are supposed to load the structure, then before you then analyze that structure, and then the last stage is the design. After your design, definitely you have a result, then you have an output. So this is basically how the software has been arranged. So there's no way you can miss out on this. Alright, so quickly what I will do, if I come here, this is a very great tool which is called define/modify. If I click on it, you see like an arrow pointing down. You see this is a drop down menu. If I click on define, it's going to allow me to define in my x direction how many grids I have, and in my right dimension how many my right direction, in my x and y, in my y direction how many grids I have, and then at the levels too as well. So let's go right into it. At the x direction, let's say I have just 2 grids, for example, and then they are at interval of, let's say, 3 meters interval. Similarly, at my y direction, I have 2 grids, and then I have it at 3 meters interval. So we have 2 grids at 3 meters spacing. That's basically what it means. And then here, how many of the height, how many floors, that's basically what it means. So let's just say I have 2 floors, and then I have it at 3 meters as well. So like I said, I promise to make this very easy. So the next thing I will do is just to click on this plus sign here, which is apply and continue. So you can see by my screen here, I have like a grid lines. You can see here, this is grid 1, 2, 3, grid A, B, C. Okay, all right, good. If you love what you are seeing already, make sure you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to this channel. It's actually free. Click on the bell icon so as for you to get a notification whenever I post videos like this on a weekly, sometimes on a daily, just to encourage as many that actually want to have a deeper insight of design. Okay, all right, so what I'm going to do now, quickly after doing this, I'm going to set my section and also my materials as well. So it's very important that you do that. So what I will do next is to click on convert into member. So all of this grid that you see along the x and also along the y, I can convert them into member. As you can see for yourself, the software is very easy to use. All right, so if I click on this, you can see it gives me different list of members. I have slab, I have beam, I have column, and all that. You can take your time to go through it to understand better. All right, good. If I click on this menu also, it gives me some other cross sections that are already existing. I have 8 of them here. Some of them are for reinforced concrete, some of them are for steel sections. But then you have you have the ability to, you can also as well change the material type and also the sections however you want them to be. So you can see I'm on my material property under the property menu here by the left hand corner of my screen. If I right click on this material, if I right click on this, you can see this is concrete build 30/34, and this is a reinforced concrete building for a very small building project. I'm going to be using a British standard, and I'm going to be using a grade of concrete, 20 grade of concrete. So I'm using grade 20. If I click on that modifier, you can see here I can click on this drop down to change the color however I want it, but then I'm just going to leave it as it is. If I click on this drop down menu here where we have grade 30/34, you can see I have different grades here that I can pick from. But then this code of practice is very important, so make sure you take your time to pick the exact code of practice that you're using for your design. So for this design, I'm going to be using the British standard, and then I'm going to select my grade of concrete to be 20, for example, and I will click on OK. All right, so this is where I am. I have been able to select my grade of concrete to be 20. So we are focusing on the reinforced concrete building design for now. And then if I click on this section here, you can see there is a plus sign here. If I click, it gives me a drop down menu of some list of grade of concrete, list of steel sections and concrete sections as well. So on this concrete section, you can see I have SB 400 by 600, SB 500 by 500. However, I can change all of this by just right click. I'll click on modify, and then a menu is going to pop up, and you will see a cross section that I can modify. So you can see this is a concrete section. All I need to do is to just come to the dimension area here, double click on it, and I will change this to 450 depth, and I'll click on enter. Now similarly here I'm going to double click on it, and I will change this to 230 width, and I'll press enter. So this is going to be my beam. So all I need to do now is just to click on apply, and I will click on close. So I can rename this now to if I like, I can say RC beam, and then I will change this to 450 230 by 450. Good. I can then similarly I will do this. I'll click on modify for this as well, and I'm going to change these for my columns. So I'll double click on this, and I will make this to 30. I'll press enter. Similarly, I'll double click on this to 30, and I'll press enter. Okay, so I have been able to specify my column size. I'll click on apply, and then I'll click on close. So just like I did for the other one, I can just rename this to RC column, RC, and then I name this column. Good. I can change this size to 230. Similarly, I change this to 230. Press enter. So I have been able to specify my column and my beam. So if I come to my front view, this is basically what I'm going to have. I'm just going to highlight this, which is along the horizontal line, and I will make it my beams. But before I do that, I will have to click on convert into member, and then now I can be able to highlight and select. You can see I selected this, and I can make it beam. Now mind you, because this is a roof beam, I may not need to specify the same beam section. Okay, so I can as well, just like I did for this, and I can make this my roof beam by just modifying this. Let me see what I have. Sorry, this is for a circular member. I can duplicate this section. This I'm just going to close it. I'm not going to apply it. So I have a duplicate here, so this should be the duplicate. I can modify this. Good. So in this case, I'm going to change this to 300 depth. I'll press enter. All right, so I'll click on apply and I'll click on close. So for this, I will have to rename this to my roof beam 230 by 300. Good. So I will come back here and I will click on convert into members. Okay, so here I have my beam. You can see I have two different beam sections. Sorry. You know, I duplicate that other beam which is here. So but then let's see what we have. If I highlight this, I will come here. Okay, good. So you can see I have my roof beam cross section is here, and then my floor beam is also here. So for my roof beam, I will select 230 by 300 and I will click on apply. All right, similarly I will highlight this. This time around for my section, I will select 230 by 400 and I'll click on apply. Now, even by viewing this, you will notice that this depth is definitely higher than this, so which makes it different. Good. So the same way, I'm going to select my column, select column and highlight from left to right. Automatically the software will select the vertical members, and all I need to do now is to select my RC column 230 by 230 and I will click on apply. Good. So let's view this in our 3D. If you come here, you can see this allows you to switch views, whether you are viewing from this is Z, so if you want to view it from the Z, which is here, you can see what we have. All right, so if I'm coming back to my back view, you can see I have my beams, my columns, everything has been inserted. So similarly, I have this. I can switch to either back view or front view, however I want it. Now if I want to insert a slab on this, all I need to do now is just to highlight the whole of this. But before then, let me switch this to a slab. I will select a slab. I can select, you can see we have a slab membrane, we have slab plate out in. Okay, so we are using the slab membrane. The thickness of the slab is very important. You can see here I have grade 20 T50, so this is the thickness of 150 mm. So that's basically what it means. So I will just have to highlight my entire beams. So it's important to have a preview of what you are doing. So I will just click on this to come back to my Z, which so once I'm in my 3D view, you can see that the slab has been inserted. So all I need to do right here is to click on apply and click on apply and continue, which is this. So you can see this is basically telling us that this is a two-way slab, two-way slab, two-way slab, two-way slab. That is basically what this means. On the previous episode, we were able to model our slab, our beam, and our column. So on this episode, I'm going to show you how to generate a story, which is very easy. All you need to do is to come here. You can see the story menu here. If you click on the drop down menu, you see story data. If I click on it, you can see a menu like this will pop up for me. Since I have already generated my model and I have one extra floor at the top, I can just make sure I add this. So once I add this, I can then I can click on OK. Then I will click on auto generate story. So all I need to do now is just to highlight my entire model and I will click on OK. Now you can see automatically this has generated this for me, telling me my ground floor, I have my first floor, and then I have my roof floor level. So you can actually name them. So you can see from 0 to 3, from 3 then this we have the height is at 3 meters from the ground floor, which is at level 0, and then it goes at 3 meters. Then from level 2, which is at 3 meters level, the height is equally 3 meters, and then this is the roof level. So at this roof level, it terminates at this level, so it does not have a height. It's also at 0. So similarly, you can equally just rename this in order for you to understand better what you are doing. So I can name this my first floor, and then similarly rename this to my ground, however you want to do it, or foundation level, however. So if I rename this way, I can then just click on OK. So but if I come back to this and I go back to my story here, at this point I can add new story. So let's say what I have here is not where I want to terminate. Let's say I don't want to terminate it at this level and I want to add more floors at the top here. All I need to do is just to click on add, and then the number of stories I can specify. If I want to add 3 stories, you can see, so I'm inserting from this level, from roof level is where I'm inserting. Okay, so so if I'm inserting from this level, I can just type in my floor, number of stories, and then I'll click on OK. So automatically all of these floors are going to be added at the top here. As you can see, this is basically what I have. Good. So you can see the roof level has been shifted up. So this is basically how to come about your stories. You can increase the number of stories. You can as well also delete any story that you do not want. Okay, so let's say okay, they are all at 3 meters height, which is okay. So similarly, I can also change the name of this to be my second floor. This is my third. So good. So once you have this, then you are good to go. Similarly, you can copy stories, you can divide story by level, you can match the selected story, you can as well delete the selected story. So any story I do not want here, I can just simply just select it and click on delete, click exiting structure, I will delete it. So if you view this, you see that that has reduced. Similarly, I can delete this, delete existing structure. You can see that has been deleted as well. Thing I will do is to click on this load tab here, and this load menu, I will click on self weight. Once you click, this will pop up for you. You can see it already has a static load set 1, but then on this we are going to be creating our own load set. So I will be creating for my dead load, I will call this DL, and I will add. For my live load, similarly, I'll click on this drop down menu and add my live load, and I will call this LL, and I will add. Alright, and from here the program will automatically generate the load combinations for us. Alright, so I have added my dead load and my live load. All I need to do now is to click on OK. You can see the sets for my dead load. We have at Z of -1 automatically that has been added. So if I click on OK, we can come to our analysis tab. You can see here we have the model, here we have the analysis. If I click on this analysis and I click on this static load, just click on this plus here, you will see that those loadings have already been placed on our entire model automatically. All right, note we have been able to add the self weights load on the entire structure. Similarly, we can add the load for our slabs. Okay, so all you need to do is so you just need to come down to your load here. You can see we have the slab load type. If I click on my slab load type, here you can add your live load and your dead load on your slabs. So all I need to do here, I have my dead load here, I can add my live load. Okay, so all you need to do is to know the specific characteristics, classification of building that you are actually designing for is very, very important. I always like to refer you to a very interesting book by Victor O. Enuga, where you see different classes of building and their kind of loads. Very, very important, so for you to be guided properly. So all you need to do is to specify the loadings, your live load and your dead load as well. By the time you are done with that, you can then click OK. But then if you notice, you realize that I use a minus sign, which is very, very important. You need to take note of that, and then I can then close. But before then, if you look at this is in kilonewton per meter square. So however, you can play around with it from here, but before I can achieve that, I will have to close this and come back to this place. I can switch this to either in pounds, whether in newton or in kilonewton, however the units of measurement that you are using for your design, or whatever kind of units that you are basically using. All right, so I will come back to that slab load type. Very important. I will leave this at this, I will leave this at this, I will put in -1.5, and then I will use this as -2, and then I will add. Then I will make sure I click OK. All right, the first one is still existing, so I can just leave this first one and just click on this. All right, so the next thing to do to add this entire slab load is just for me to, I can then just come to my slab and then I'll click on slab load. You can see it asks me to select the object, so all I need to do is to highlight this. You can see that has been highlighted, and then I will click on this. So you can see this load has been added to my slab. I can view it from the top. Similarly, you can see this load is a two-way this is a two-way slab. Let's say in a case where probably this is a one-way, for example, maybe in a case where this is one way, you can as well switch your, so we can simply change the load distribution. If I highlight this, let's say from my right to left, you can see automatically this properties has actually displayed here by the left hand corner of my screen. So if you look at the load distribution here, it's actually a two-way, so I can switch that to a one-way. You can see this is now distributed in one direction. So but then I will take it back to two-way because this is a square panel, so it is definitely going to be two-way slab. Okay, but mind you, there are other types of loads that we can add to our structure. So let me bring this back to good. All right, so this is how it is. So there are some other type of loadings that we can add to our structure. As you can see, we can add a wind load. We have the, you can see we have the snow load, we have the this is for wind load. We have the seismic load. All right, so whatever kind of loading you want to probably add to your structure, we can add a wind load function. Let's go to assign wind load. So here you can actually assign a wind load to your structure. The eccentricity, let's say, is none. If you click on these three dots here, it allows you to add, or you can modify, or you can add something very new, which allows you to specify your code of practice. So this is BS6399. The site category, is it in a town or a county? You can select that. Building type factor, I can leave it at 1. What is the basic winds? This is in meter per seconds. The height of other building around that axis, the separation is in how many meters away, closest distance to. So this as well, you can change this. This is the closest to the sea. So but then the separation, okay, let's say 7 meters away. This, like I said, is the closest distance to the sea. So let's say it's 3 kilometers, for example. So if all of these are correct, but then you can see the average roof height has automatically been taken by the software itself. You know, from this natural ground to the first floor is 3 meters. From the first floor to the second floor slab is 6 meters. And from the second floor slab to the roof level is another 3 meters, which makes it 9 meters, and that has been taken automatically by the software itself. So once you are okay with all of this, you can then click on OK. So you can see this is the one we added just now. We can click on OK. So from here you can see that the generate load set for auto, this basically telling you that along the X direction and also along the Y direction, you can see the arrows here. We're having an arrow showing you these are basically the wind load that is going to be acting on the building itself. As it is here, I don't know if I was able to explain this. This is enclosed area, this is open area, so it depends on the kind of building you are working on. But for this structure that we are working on is a story kind of building. So if you are dealing with an enclosed area, you choose this. If you are using an open area, you choose this. This like open space, you can see more like a steel kind of truss. This is where you have equipment. Okay, so but then I can also show the profile of this set. Similarly, as it is, I can just click on OK. I can change this to 0 if I don't want this loading to impact on the structure itself. So I will click on OK. You can see I have this along my X direction and also my Y direction as well. So similarly, just like this other one, we can simply also come and add our seismic load as well. I can click on this and I will select my building structure, which is similarly like this type of structure that I have modeled already. So you can see I will have to check this generate load set for auto, just like I did for my wind load as well. So from here, if I click on this three dot, I can add from here, and this also gives me the opportunity to pick any kind of practice I want to use. So this is Eurocode, which you will agree with me is not very far from the British standard that we use. Okay, here the structural parameters are something that we can actually pick from this period calculator, and you can also calculate that manually and then add from there. You can just calculate this and also click on calculate here. Once you do all of that, you can click on this. Now you can see our approximate period has been added. Okay, so all I need to do now is just to click on OK. So from here, I will similarly just click on OK. I will leave the scale factor at 1 and I will check and accept. So you can see I have my load along the X direction and also along my Y direction. I can check for this under this is my earthquake load actually. So you can see that is already existing. My seismic load is on my project. Alright, so on this video I have been able to cover extensively from the self weights to the slab load to the wind load, and then we went down to seismic load. So all we need to do is to come to our boundary. If you click on the boundary here, you will see a support. On here you will see, if I click on this drop down, you see you have a pin, we have undefined, we have user defined. So if I click on fixed, all I need to do is to make sure I can make this either front, back, left or right, just to highlight this entire bottom, and I will click on OK, and you realize that my support has been added to my entire structure. All right, So that is that about this episode. If you love what you are seeing, make sure you like this video and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel. It's actually 100% free. Click on the bell icon in order for you to get a notification whenever I post videos, and I will see you on the next one.